perception is harmonic. It's a very surprising fact. This is what modern psychology, called Gestalt psychology, has brought out very clearly. It's a German psychological school which says that all human apparatus tends toward Gestalt. Even in the perceptual consciousness, because of Gestalt, I don't see atomic perceptions. I see convergence. Even when the things are disparate, I see convergence. In fact, the greatest artists are those who leave the two ends open, leaving the rear to converge. This is called the great art of expression. The greatest artists don't tell you the conclusion. They leave the propositions, but in such a manner that the viewer is obliged to converge and to derive the meaning out of it. So, whether it is in the field of mere perception or in the very movement of artistic perception, in every moment of life, particularly whenever I see a problem, and the contrast is always a problem, one is opposed to the other is a problem. Aurobindo says, be sure, this is the argument. Whenever there is a problem, there is a law which you should see in nature. No problem is created unless there is a secret harmony somewhere. Somewhere there is a concealed harmony. And there is a constant, emergent drive towards that harmony. All problems of existence are essentially problems of harmony. Now I'll read out the whole paragraph at one stroke. They arise from the perception of an unsolved discord and the instinct of an undiscovered agreement or unity. To rest content with an unsolved discord is possible for the practical and more animal part of man, but impossible for his fully awakened mind. And usually, even his practical parts only escape from the general necessity either by shutting out the problem or by accepting a rough, utilitarian and unillumined compromise. For essentially, all nature seeks a harmony. Life and matter in their own sphere, as much as mind in the arrangement of its perceptions. The greater the apparent disorder of the materials offered, or the apparent disparateness, even to irreconcilable opposition of the elements that are to be utilized, the stronger is the spurs and drives towards a more subtle and puissant order than can normally be the result of a less difficult endeavor. The accordance of active life with a material of form, in which the condition of activity itself seems to be inertia, is one problem of opposites that nature has solved and seeks always to solve better with greater complexities. For its perfect solution would be the material immortality of a fully organized, mind-supporting animal body. The accordance of conscious mind and conscious will with a form and a life in themselves, not overtly self-conscious and capable at best of a mechanical or subconscious will, is another problem of opposites in which she has produced astonishing results and aims always at higher marvels. For there, her ultimate miracle would be an animal consciousness, no longer seeking but possessed of truth and light, with the practical omnipotence which would result from the possession of a direct and perfected knowledge. Not only then is the upward impulse of man towards the accordance of yet higher opposites rational in itself, but it is the only logical completion of a rule and an effort that seems to be a fundamental method of nature and the very sense of her universal strivings. I shall not read further. We shall leave it for tomorrow. It's a very important paragraph, very important argument. And the rest of the whole book rests upon this argument. So we shall leave it here. If you have time, you think about it. If you don't have time, don't worry about it. We shall do it tomorrow. So we shall stop it today, 2 o'clock exactly.